Hi learners, in this video I'm going to talk about Indian consumer, the traditional as well as the modern characteristics of Indian consumer. Now we all know that as per the traditional marketing concept, the producer or the manufacturer was the king, whereas as per the modern marketing concept, it is the consumer who is the king. So therefore in a buyer's market, customer is regarded as the king and business begins and ends with the customer. Hence, it is of utmost importance for every business organization to analyze the characteristics of the consumers of the country to which they want to serve. So now in this video, I'm going to analyze the characteristics of the Indian consumer. Now India, there have been changes in the Indian consumer over the past decades. We all know that human beings' nature is never static, it keeps on changing. Similarly, Indian consumers' nature has also been evolving and changing over the past several decades. And there are various characteristics of Indian consumer which makes the Indian consumer very versatile, especially after 1991 when the Indian economy was opened up to the foreigners. That means when there was, since the advent of liberalization, privatization and globalization in 1991, many multinational corporations have established their businesses in India, and today India is the hub for several information technology and related businesses, and it is also an important hub for business outsourcing. So therefore, the Indian consumer market is one of the largest markets, and India occupies around the 12th position and currently, and it is expected to become the 6th largest market by 2025. So therefore, now let's analyze the several features which are associated with the Indian consumer market, both the traditional consumers characteristics as well as the modern consumers characteristics. Now in this slide we have the traditional characteristics of the Indian consumer. Now earlier the Indian consumer had these characteristics. Firstly, there was low levels of literacy. If we take the period prior to 1991, we had the Indian consumers, they were very less literates who were there in India, and because of the low literacy levels, they lacked, they lacked information or the knowledge which was required in order to make good purchase decisions. So that was one of the major drawbacks of the Indian consumer. Next is low involvement. Low involvement actually here means that the Indian consumers were not given the freedom to decide for themselves what kind of goods they require. Though we, in the modern concept, we tell that the consumer was the king, still the manufacturers manufactured whatever goods they like, and the Indian consumer was forced to buy them. Why? Because before 1991, we did not have many multinational corporations in the country, and because of this, the choice of goods which was available to the consumer was very limited. So, and this limited choice further, did not give much powers to the Indian consumer. Next, the Indian consumer, because of the low levels of literacy and since India was just in the development stage, the Indian consumers did not have much purchasing power, and because of the lack of purchasing power, the Indian consumers focus more on the affordability or the pricing of the product rather than focusing on the quality of the product. Further, the Indian consumers were unaware of their rights, and there was rampant exploitation of the Indian consumers. There were deceptive marketing or advertising which was done by many producers. Then practices like black marketing, hoarding and all were very common in the Indian market. So in order to provide an end to, or rather to end all these practices, we had the Consumer Protection Act of 1986. Next, like I just said, that the Indian consumers' purchasing power was limited. The next thing was, moreover, the Indian consumers had limited ambitions in life. Like if we ask our grandparents and all, they just wanted to sell. We would usually find them, settling in one job throughout their life, or at the most they would shift for two, three organizations, and we would find that they would have one house. Any person who had a decent job and a single house or their own house, they found that they had achieved everything in life. Whereas today, the expectations or the desires of the Indian consumers have changed. Today, everybody wants an individual house for all their children. If they have two children, they want to make two houses. Whereas earlier, even if they had 10 children, you would find that the parents wanted to make only one house for all the 10 children. So the ambitions in life was very limited. The next thing is there was absence of proper information about the product. Now, generally, there's lots of information about the product, like the ingredients which are there in a product, or the composition of the product is mentioned on the labels of the product. So, not much information was provided to the consumer about the product. And another characteristic of the Indian consumers was that due to ineffective competition means that the competition, there were not too many competitors, and even if the competitors were present, there was not actual competition which existed among them, and this forced the consumers to purchase from limited goods, or it rather means this point actually means that the consumers were not given wide variety of choices. They had limited choices which were given to the Indian consumers. So these were some of the traditional characteristics of the Indian consumer. Now let's move on to the modern characteristics of the Indian consumer. The first characteristics of the Indian consumer in the modern era is that as per the surveys which are done, more than 50% of the Indian population is currently below the age group of 30 years. So we find that they are more of youth consumers, and this gives an ample opportunity to the marketer to sell products which are required by the young people. So generally the focus of the marketers is more on the young consumers. Next, in the modern era, we find that the joint family system has eroded away, and we have nuclear families living. We have small families. So, because of this, the demand for small cars or medium-sized automobile cars is more. Then there is increased awareness. Consumers are more literate, and because of the increased literacy levels, the consumers are more well informed and they know about their rights. Because of the access of consumers to various technological platforms or digital platforms and various social networking websites, consumers they don't have to ask anybody if they want opinion regarding what kind of a product it is. But if they want a feedback on any product, the consumers will simply log into various social networking websites and try to get feedback from customers who are in diverse parts of the world. So the awareness among the consumers has also increased. Further, we have organized retail stores. So we have big retail giants like Big Bazaar, we have more, we have Spencer, we have Reliance. So there are so many retail giants, and these retail giants purchase goods in bulk, and therefore because of the bulk purchases, the cost of purchase is very less for these retail giants. And what they do is they try to sell the goods at a discount to the consumers. So that is another advantage for the modern consumer. Next is Western influence. Now, Western influence here means that there is a dramatic change in the food pattern, dressing sense, and socialization among the consumers. A lot of the Indian consumers are highly influenced by the Western culture. For example, Indian families are regularly consuming bread and jam and cornflakes, oats, etc. for their breakfast instead of the traditional foods like dosas, idlis, and all that. So, that is another thing. Next, health consciousness. Now, we find that people are becoming more health conscious or conscious about their lifestyles, about their eating habits. Everybody wants to remain slim and fit, and that's the reason why we find there is demand for gymnasiums where fitness and we find more people are fitness freaks and all that. So, because of this change in the lifestyle, there is more demand for foodstuffs which are healthy. We have more demand for organic foodstuffs. So, organic foodstuffs are those which are prepared without the use of fertilizers and pesticides. So, these foods are more in demand. So, that is another another characteristics of the modern Indian consumer. Next is time pressure. Now, due to we generally find nowadays that both they are dual family income groups now. Dual family incomes are those where both the spouses are working. So when both the spouses are working, the responsibility is also divided, and since women assume the dual responsibility of both working as well as maintaining the household, so generally there is a time pressure, and in order to beat this time pressure, there is more demand for time saving devices, like there is more demand for washing machines, mixer grinders, which help you to do your task in a much easier way. Rice cookers are more in demand, and because of this you have more demand for ready to eat items and all that. So these are also some of one of the characteristics of the Indian consumer. Further, earlier, if the consumer wanted to buy products like big electronic gadgets or any automobiles, they had to save the money for it, which would take a couple of years and then buy the product. whereas now there is the concept of easy EMIs or monthly installments, because of which you just have to make a down payment of less of a small amount, and then you can purchase the good and pay the remaining amount in easy installments. So that is another characteristic feature of the Indian consumers. So because of this easy installments, it has given an opportunity for people to increase the standard of living and enjoy the goods which they earlier had thought impossible to buy. Next, we have more demand, or there is increased demand among youths for pleasure-seeking products. Pleasure-seeking products are those products which are not essential for our living, but still they give us pleasure. Like the demand, especially the luxury goods, like your luxury cars or high-end gadgets, electronic gadgets. All these are luxury goods. So this demand for luxury goods has led to explosive growth of explosive growth in the demand for these products. And moreover, nowadays people have started to show buy branded stuffs just to showcase the status symbols. So that is another thing. Next, we find the Indian consumers have become more technology savvy. Technology savvy means there is more fascination or more demands for technology oriented products like laptops, iPods, high end cameras, trendy watches. So that is another. So the demand for all these goods have also increased. Next, increasing strength of rural customers. Now, earlier rural customers, not much emphasis was given on their demands by the marketers, because they used to find that rural customers, do not contribute much to the in increasing the company's profits, because the purchase or the consumption levels were low. Whereas now the rural customers' consumption levels have also increased, and they also contribute substantially to the profits of a company. Next, there is increase in the demand for travel and education. There is more emphasis which is placed on education and increasing the literacy among the people, because of which we find there are more, educational institutions being established. Then further, travel. Earlier, people used to prefer only domestic travels, but now, because of the increase in the standards of living, even the demand for foreign travels have increased. Next, the Indian consumers focus more on nowadays are focusing more on personal grooming. Now, earlier beauty products were generally opted only by women, but now we find that even men are keen or very conscious about how they look. We have spas, unisex spas, which means it is not only for women but it is also for men. So there is more increase in demand for beauty products, not only among women but also among men. So, and further, because we find that now, even women have also started working, we find that when you are working at a workplace, they need to be presentable. So, in order to make sure that they are always presentable and well groomed, there is more increased demand for beauty products. Next, there is rise in consumerism. Now, consumerism is a movement which helps in enlightening the customers about their rights. Okay, so because of this increased rise or informing of the consumers about the movement of consumerism, consumers are well aware of their rights. So that's why we find that we can no longer can the Indian consumer be cheated with deceptive ads and all that, and practices like hoarding, black marketing, and all have come down to great levels. And lastly, value for money. Now, value for money means the satisfaction which a customer gets after they purchase a product. So, only when the utility which you get after you buy a product, if the is more, only then the customers are satisfied. And organized retail stores like Big Bazaar and all that deal in high volume and are able to enjoy economies of large scale production and distribution. So, because of big retail giants like Big Bazaar, Reliance, More, Spencer, they eliminate intermediaries or middlemen in distribution channels, and moreover, even these organized retailers offer quality products at reasonable prices. So, therefore, the entry of such retail giants has made sure that the customers get greater value for their money, because the goods are given to the customers below the MRP rates, and more discounts are given to the customers even during the off seasons, that is even when the festivals are not there. So these are some of the characteristics of the modern Indian consumer.